Good day and blessings to you all. This is your Man of Business Doc coming to you with another video. Just wanting to say hello to everybody. Today we're going to be talking about 8 signs that you're a spiritual healer. 8 signs that you're a spiritual healer. So just stand by, and when we come back, we're going to get into what the 8 signs of spiritual healers tend to be. Welcome back. The first sign that you are a spiritual healer is 1. You are highly sensitive to energy. You're very sensitive to energy. And when I say you're highly sensitive to energy, to give you a working example, if you were to walk into a room, you would be able to pick up on the emotions that the individuals within that room are carrying. Now, the thing is, for healers, most healers, you should know, tend to be empaths. And for an empath, this means that no matter what that energy that individual is carrying, they'll be able to sense it as though it is their own. So this is one of the signs that you may be a spiritual healer. The second sign is that you've felt like an outcast most of your life. You felt like an outcast most of your life. And here it is, this would have started from the time that you could remember yourself. You always felt like a square peg trying to fit into a circular hole. And you've had to develop coping mechanisms in order to deal with it. And most instances, you've developed the lifestyle or the liberty of being a loner. And what that does is it forces most individuals, most healers in particular, to go within themselves, The third sign, or the third indicator that you may be a spiritual healer, is that you tend to be a natural peacekeeper. You tend to be an individual who you don't like conflict. You tend to be the one who is quick to try and bring opposing sides into a place of harmony. What you'll find is spiritual healers tend to be within the family setting. They tend to be operating in leadership roles, like Big Mama or Big Pa or Big Papa, those type of roles. And so on. The third sign was that you would be a natural peacekeeper between persons and people, I should say. The fourth sign that you may be a spiritual healer is that you tend to feel very drained when you have to interact with groups of people. For instance, if you go to a party or you go to some sort of social gathering, you find that you after leaving that gathering or leaving the presence of those souls, you would feel drained, tired on the inside. This is tied to the fact that the empathic aspect of most healers as such. In terms of the fifth sign that you may be a spiritual healer, you would be sensitive to animals, children. And when I say that, most healers operate on a frequency whereby other sentient beings that are more innocent, like the animals, like little children, tend to be drawn to these persons because the purity within these pure souls, they sense a similar frequency, even though the frequency of the healer may be of an older, more mature nature. They sense goodness. And that is not to say that there aren't some healers out there who practice on the dark side of healing. But the reality is most healers tend to be of a light nature, tend to be more focused on helping individuals from a positive standpoint. So to give you a working example, when I made the transition into the spiritual journey, and I would do things like meditation and things of that nature, what I found was dogs, strange dogs would be coming up to me, dogs that other persons would be afraid of would come up to me. For instance, birds would just come and just light in my immediate vicinity, or literally light on me. Birds, dogs, cats. To give you a working example, this morning I was meditating and a cat just came and just sat in my lap. And I found it rather funny. But what I found is when I am in a certain state of vibration, even the animals, nature in itself is at peace with you. And that is something that most healers tend to find themselves in terms of their position. The 6th point that most healers, and when I'm talking about healers, I should clarify that I'm not just talking about persons who deal in the realm of physical healing. I'm talking about persons who deal in the realm of spiritual healing, emotional healing, psychological healing. These are the type of persons that I'm talking about. The 6th point that would give you an idea that you're one of these type of spiritual healers is the fact that when persons come to you, they come to you with their problems and they literally just dump all of what their problems are onto you, onto your lap. Because in most instances, these individuals have a sense that you can help them, you can assist them. This is something that most healers have to come to a grips with, of knowing that they are a light in a world of darkness, and individuals who are broken and individuals who need help will seek out these individuals who have this inner light that is coming out. So in terms of people dumping on you, I would tell you that if it becomes too overwhelming for you as an empath, if it becomes too much for you, you should, seek time to regenerate and seek time to re-energize and do things like going back into nature so as to reground yourself and to bring yourself back to a more whole entity, because the very act of healing in itself takes essence, takes life force out of you. So you must be mindful of writing these energy or life force checks that you should be able to restabilize and resustain yourself. So that's the next thing. People dump a lot of baggage on you. The 7th sign that you may be a spiritual healer is that you have come to a place where you recognize the interconnectedness of life. You realize that all is one, and you realize that all systems in life, even though they may appear and seem fragmented and disjointed and separate and apart, the reality is all systems, though they may appear separate and apart, are actually part of one big whole system. That is the issue of being cognizant of knowing and acknowledging that within the law of one, all is one, all is mine. So we must know that this ability to be aware of the interconnectedness of life for the healer in particular brings about a state of being able to access higher realms, higher dimensions, and higher energies and frequencies, and it allows them to be able to channel and bring that into this 3-dimensional reality. So that interconnectedness of life is definitely a primary point for most healers, because here it is, as a healer you should be able to pull energies from the outside in, and also to be able to consistently export that energy in a positive way. What I've found in terms of the energetic or chi flow, for instance, most persons should be mindful that we take energy in through our left hand and we push energy out through our right hand. So what you'll find is persons dealing in the healing arts like Reiki and energy or chi healing and things of that nature, what you'll find is these individuals would use their left and right hand in various ways to affect the various energy outcomes that they want. The 8 point that most healers have to, what is an indicator of a spiritual healer, is most spiritual healers go through what is known as the dark night of the soul. This is a period of transition. This is a period of where one literally has a shedding away of the old life and the old nature and the old paradigms in one's life. The dark night of the soul in itself is a scenario whereby persons will lose things like financial loss. They will lose things like family connections, friend connections, and things of that nature. And this has been a consistent sign among spiritual healers. One of the things I feel that an individual will go through the dark night of the soul as a process similar to a butterfly moving from caterpillar to butterfly. And in order to be able to be at one's full capacity to heal individuals, one has to be operating at a particular strength of aura and a particular strength of internal energy. And if this energy is not there, one will not be an effective healer. And what I find is that the dark night of the soul, even though it may be a difficult process for most persons to go through, at the end of that process of the dark night of the soul, persons will find that they are spiritually stronger, emotionally stronger, psychologically stronger, mentally stronger, as a result of what they would have had to experience in the dark night of the soul. In terms of breaking it down even a little further, in terms of spiritual healers, what you'll find is spiritual healers are a very special breed of souls. These souls are literally souls who make an agreement to give of themselves, because what most persons will not understand is in the healing process itself, there has to be a linking of the person that is sick and the person that is doing the healing, whether that sickness is mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever the case may be. So one has to be internally strong. But yes, I only wanted to share 8 points with you today on some of the signs of what a spiritual healer would look like, or what they may embody or encompass. I just want to thank you for signing in and listening to what I have to say. If this was being beneficial to you, you can join me on Instagram or on my Facebook page. And until next time, this is Doc saying thank you for logging in. Have a great day.